Hello, everybody. We will get started in a few moments. I posted a link to the agenda in the chat. If you have anything you'd like to talk about today, please enter that in the open section. Very light agenda. No one pre-staged anything. So if you have things you want to talk about, typey.
All right, I'll add a couple of things in, but would you mind redoing the Zoom? Thank you.
Pardon? Redoing what, please? We'll give it one more minute before we start.
Oh my gosh, you know what's just happened? I'm on the wrong call. It's like, this is not my agenda. All right, I'm good. I will see you all next time.
All right, it is 3 after the hour, folks. Welcome to the April 18th edition of the Education SIG. Do we have anyone that's interested in volunteering to help us take notes today? You might not be very busy today.
I will try to help with that.
Why, thank you, Caveman.
You're welcome.
Do we have any new friends to the Education SIG that wanted to introduce themselves? Are we all old friends?
We've all been around the around the planet a couple, or what, around the sun a couple times together at this point.
Yeah. It's always nice to ask. Somebody new might pop in.
Okay, yeah, but I have plans for that. All right, so can I just run? I've got a quick thing and then a couple of.
How
So-
could you, Sal?
I know. All right. So I'm doing a silly little zine because one of my mentees is a really cool, like, open source artist, and they wanted to do a zine. And I think that's a cool idea. So we're gonna have a printed one and we're gonna have digital content, and it's gonna be a like hybrid experience. And it's literally like, it's just us. We're just doing it. It says in the first sentence that it's just a community project. So what I'm looking for is like the kind of people like SPDX reached out immediately. I'm going to also like highlight Cyclone DX, get like those kind of things are going to be in there.
That's smart.
Would love to do some interviews with anyone working in open source, which a few of you on this call might. And like particularly around this, like this zine is going to be at OSS, but also we're just going to like distribute it into cafes around Vancouver. So it's actually oriented at like a non-contributor. Yeah, and it's like there's 2 entry points. You open it, it says if you don't know about open source, click into this rabbit hole on the internet, and if you do know about open source, click into this rabbit hole. Yeah, so it's gonna be really cool, and I could use more ideas around that. So I will.
Says a lot about cafes in Vancouver.
I know we're gonna put like 1,000 of them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'll put that in, but that's really it, and that's what I'm focusing on for the next like 2 weeks. I hope everyone else is having fun at KubeCon.
That's where a lot of people are this week. Yeah, so please, if anyone's interested in participating, reach out to Sal. I'm glad if I'm of interest, Sal, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I can talk a lot.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool, and we'll get some more ideas as it goes on. And because here's the cool thing, submissions are open until like just before Open Source Summit and can be open afterwards if we're collecting things like surveys. So if you have any ideas for survey questions, I am working on that over this week for like, yeah, I guess like not for the non-contributors, because I'm asking non-contributors their questions, but what are the top 3 answers, not necessarily questions, what are the top 3 answers that you think an open source developer needs right now? Like literally like entry points for that online experience. But that's
Coffee.
it, right? Yeah.
Software development runs on coffee.
What happened to my Docker images? It's a question we discuss a lot.
There you go. All right. So please reach out to Sal if you have any ideas for content or desire to put anything in there. Like Alpha Omega might be interesting. So if you're still hiring then. I know
We
you're-
are-
We are currently hiring mentees. We are looking for 4 mentees currently for the summer. I'm actually currently working on a tweet right now on this exact topic.
Great.
A tweet. What's that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and a Mastodon post, but
Oh,
tweets will get more even with the chaos that is Twitter, we will get more visibility on Twitter.
We're also closing out the applications, I think Monday.
Monday, I don't know when, so if you have anybody who wants to get them in by Sunday evening, please.
Wait for the mentee things.
Yes.
Yeah, let's aim for Friday. We actually already had like 130 applicants when it opens.
But
I have
the mentorship if you know anybody who's interested, the mentorship includes a all expenses paid trip to Vegas for B-Sides Las Vegas. Yeah, right? Yeah, for B-Sides Las Vegas and DEF CON. So if you want to,
Nice.
for a student, that's a pretty wild experience. So
No, that's such
Yep.
a cool.
for me, that'd be cool because my company isn't paying.
Same here.
yeah, I know.
But is it available worldwide, or are you focusing on a
US
certain
based.
region?
US. So right now, US.
Yes.
Yeah, for
and
the
it
first
paid-
round, it's US based, right?
Yes, it's paying for 12 weeks at about $31.5 an hour.
Yeah, it's a total payout of 1750, and that includes
Yes.
17,500. And that includes the stipend for hotels, travel, airfare, yada yada to Vegas for DEF CON and B-Sides this year
Yeah.
to join us.
That's like
Yay.
a $30 an hour raise for me. Can I apply?
Yeah, right.
I
Can you
actually
dedicate 40 hours at 20 you're already dedicating quite a few hours to be able to, yeah, I know, right?
It needs an additional.
For $30
Yeah.
an hour.
You're not doing enough.
I do have a quick question on that application. I remember when I read it, it looked really targeted to like traditional pathway students for the summer, which is great. But is it also open to non-students if they're in the same sort of?
Yes.
Entry level.
But we are looking for, yes, with the caveat of we're looking for people with
They have
software.
to be students, essentially, yeah.
Well, yeah, so even though I'm looking for software security researchers, I'm actually more interested in people with compiler experience because I'm working with abstract syntax trees and transforming ASTs. And given the work that we're doing, which is I'm engaged mostly in bulk automated pull request generation, even though I can teach you the security stuff. I can't teach you how to, how a compiler works. So.
Yeah. I won't tell you the applicant I'm trying to get in, but I will tell you that their father is the head of quality control for compiling for NVIDIA. So they're
Oh.
familiar.
Yeah.
But through the traditional pathway. So yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
To the intention behind Ollie's question, Yesenia and Jonathan, are there any plans, like if this works out in the future, would we expand this to other parts of the globe, like maybe in the fall or next year, do something in Europe or Asia?
We're looking to do this next summer because we had to rapidly release this. We just said US,
Okay.
but the next one will be, I will try to get it. So it's, we got a lot of international applicants. I kind of feel bad like declining them, but
Yeah.
can only do so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it takes time to build a network to reach the proper ones. I mean, I'm based here in Sweden, so I can properly organize something, but
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, that's really good to
Europe
hear.
is very diverse.
Yeah. Good talent out there too.
All right. Any other comments about the Alpha and Omega internship or the zine?
I was late to the zine, but I'll talk to Saul after. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah, salt like salt.
There you go. Cool. I just
Um,
cracked open my coffee, so
I'm sad because I actually have physical magazines, and was teaching a class the other night with a friend of mine I've known forever, and he's talking to a bunch of 20-year-olds. We're doing this class about cybersecurity careers, and Joe kept saying, "Well, this is something you're going to read about in the morning paper." And I'm chatting like, dude, these people have no idea what a newspaper is. They've never seen one.
Yeah, I know.
Time to update the metaphor. He's like, oh, I forgot. Like, oh,
hey, but they know what zines are. The kids do zines these days. Turns out. I think it's gonna be cool.
read about it in the papers.
This time you can. You can read about open source in the papers.
I
I'm
know.
so excited.
Great.
I'll mute myself now. But
All right. So do we have any other opens? Right now, the governing board is still reviewing the proposals. There is a governance committee meeting, which I was trying to not go to anymore, but I got pulled back into. So I will mention it there, asking them kind of, do we have an ETA or a timeline? It's been under review by them officially for 3 months.
and a lot of section 2 has been delivered. Like it's really worked on. So
Yep. Well, and unfortunately, being the tip of the spear, so to speak, for the mobilization plan, they're developing the process, and like right behind us, I have Sarah and Josh are working on the SBOMs everywhere reworking. We're going to have the memory safety SIG. We're going to have the risk management dashboards. We're going to have like 3 or 4 additional mobilization plan rewrites. And so just unfortunately, we're in the front, and they're kind of putting the planes on the airplane as wings on the plane as we're taxiing down the runway.
all right, well, we'll see. We'll get an ATI when we get one.
All right. So do we have any other education topics? Is there anything we'd like to collaborate on today?
Jonathan and Yesenia have added an item,
but
vulnerability project type thing. Go ahead, Yesenia.
yeah, so I'm sharing our university's Project Time Vulnerability Discovery Program. It needs a better name, but it's just kind of like an outline of how the program's going to work. We have Purdue starting in the summer with us. They're submitting a 3 VIP team to help us with the Omega tool chain. So I'm just sharing for awareness. And then I'm waiting to hear back from Nova. I spoke to them in person on Saturday, and then I sent them an email on Monday. So I'm just waiting for them to answer back. They would be for the spring, and then pending FAU and FSU. They're like one engineering school and one or something. It was pretty interesting. So that's just an update.
Oh, any questions for Jonathan or Yesenia about the project type thing? Okie doke. Any topics about the plan or anything else we want to discuss today, or should we adjourn?
Are we doing anything for OpenSSF Day or Open Europe?
So the OpenSSF Vancouver is being organized. There'll be a lot of different talks. We have Sal actually is hosting a panel on DE&I, so we hope to kind of get some of our DE&I committee topics mentioned there as part of that. I know that Christine is doing some presentations. She's doing one on source code management. And I think we're trying to do like a DE&I committee meetup, aren't we? Or just like a hallway conversation, try to lure more people in.
Yeah. And also the zine.
We also have like a lightning talk.
Yes.
At OSSS.
Yes, at the regular summit.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then that's a mighty fine cone.
Yeah, cone of shame. Death to the patriarch.
Um, I'll be doing a talk at OpenSSF Day reviewing kind of the status of the mobilization plan. I'll be talking about each of the streams and trying to encourage the non-streams to organize and start proposals. And there is a new SIG that's being created, and I think it's reporting to the governing board. And it's specific to updating the mobilization plan. So as I hear anything about that, I'll let you all know. I wasn't asked to be part of it, but I invited myself to it since, I'm helping with like a third of the whole plan. So I'll be involved in that, and we can potentially hear what's going on there. But that's not about funding. That's just about kind of updating the plan based off of things like the new U.S. cyber security strategy, about the European CRA efforts, which I have a meeting about in like 2 hours.
Oh, good.
Uh,
I'm working a lot with the CRA currently. So
oh, excellent. Yeah, the public policy committee is getting together. I don't know if we've been invited to provide notes or comments, but that's been a long running topic for us. Jay.
yeah, but
Yes.
we started a discussion about the European Open Source Summit.
Mhm.
I think we lost track. Or
Yeah, and the LFEU is involved with some of the comments. There's another open source organization out of Europe. The name fails me.
Open UK.
Open UK is one of them.
Yeah.
There's another one though. But there are several other foundations that we're looking to work with. And I can't remember the gentleman that's kind of taking point. He actually is in
Simon
maybe.
Simon Phipps
Yeah, that might be.
used to be in Sun Microsystems. He's with the Open Source Initiative part-time.
Mr. White, you had a question or comment?
I did indeed. I've been asked to jump in to a panel discussion on LF training, and stuff like that during the Open Source Summit.
Nice.
I will take that opportunity to highlight some of the work that we're doing here in the education SIG as part of total LF stuff going on around training and education. Just wanted to bring that up because that came yesterday in the evening.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we'll see how that
Congratulations. That'll
works
be
out.
good. Let me know when it is. I'll show up and try to ask you easy questions.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know, and then I'll duck and hide.
Yeah, OSS is going to be good. I want to personally do a little bit more thinking about getting some, I think there needs to be more sort of like, well, we've only got like a week or so of getting any public exposure out there for getting people involved in open, specifically I'm thinking the OpenSSF day. Because I'm going to put a little bit more thinking into that. I think I will at least organize, I'm thinking on the social side, because that's going to be my vacation. So I will organize the sort of like OpenSSF meetup around there. I say we meet at a cafe because it'll have the zine focus. But beyond that, my sort of question on, I've got two sort of main things as we move forward. There's sort of live events, getting exposure, getting some traction, getting some more people involved so that we can make sure we can keep building. I think we're going to get that in the next month. But I also really want to take a step back and look at, for that action plan, if we get a timeline, it sounds like there's going to be a revision opportunity, because I'd love to revise that and add stuff in, but I would love to get feedback first.
Well, we have the ability to, through PRs, make suggestions to our plan. So we can do that today, and we don't necessarily have to change it, but we can have that staged and reviewed.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
but the actual, I moved it. I have a hard copy of it. The actual plan, there is a plan to rewrite it
Okay, yeah.
and update it. So again, I strongly feel that our plan should be inserted as what those two sections, like what the education section, like the cert section, should be replaced with. And then if we do have additional thoughts, like I know that Jay and Christine have some thoughts around modifying some of the outreach to a lot of our community outreach. So I want to make sure we get that ready to go and put in there. And then the OSS EU call for papers is still open for about one more week. I would strongly encourage us to consider submitting things for the full conference. And then they eventually will open up a call for papers just for OpenSSF Day there. They will be having one. So,
Okay.
but consider submitting to the larger conference, because that will be people that are potentially non-active members. So we can, again, lure them in and convert them to recruits. But there will be an OpenSSF Day, and we should consider potentially maybe a panel on this SIG.
I have it literally
I
open.
mean,
right now.
you could potentially focus it on what's needed, since it's in Europe, what's needed for the CRA,
Mhm.
right? What is the changes needed for the CRA? And that's a lot of change needed.
Agreed.
And it means that a lot of people will need to have development. So that's where we come in, right? But if we focus on that, it's going to be very important for people to listen in the general conference.
And I expect, especially with it being in Europe and about the CRA, there'll probably be a lot of additional people in the audience that wouldn't normally show up to a talk about education.
Most of the discussion about CRA and open source has, of course, been about the problems with the text. But if you turn it around and look at the rest, it's a huge change in the way we develop software. We need to brainwash a lot of people. So having a discussion around that would be interesting.
Yeah, I would be happy. I'm already working on a tandem talk with Amanda Brock, basically on the subject. So like head of Open UK lawyer. I would love, maybe we just translate that into a panel.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So I guess I'll write that into the notes, and if you are interested in joining in on a panel, I'll put that in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I submitted other talks. We'll see if they get approved, and then I'll fight to see if I get approved to travel. I'd love to go
Make
to
you into a hologram
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
solution.
But Bilbao, if you go there, bring your umbrellas.
Well, I still have my raincoat from when I went to Ireland.
Yeah, reuse is environmental friendly and you will need it.
Excellent. All right. Well, any other comments or topics before we adjourn today?
That's it for now.
All right. Great little chat. Thank you all for participating. And again,
Thank you.
I'll put a link again to the European call for papers, and they haven't opened up the OpenSSF one yet, but the actual conference itself is still open until early May. So consider submitting. Thanks all. Enjoy your day.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes.
Okay.